talking.
Microphone. Is it 29?
No, this is 30, isn't it?
Is it?
Hold on, let me quickly check. I'm sure this is 30.
It's good that we know where we're at off the bat.
Yeah, last one was 29.
Sick.
The one with Lee was 29.
3-0. We've hit the big 3-0.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, that is pretty impressive.
Back to just a dynamic duo this
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, no guests.
I guess. Plenty of hair still though.
Yes. More hair than ever. One seems to be growing at a rapid rate.
It really is.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit annoyed at you.
It's literally seems like every day it seems to like get a little bit.
You're here every
I suppose
week.
Literally, it is getting a little bit longer every day, but like noticeably so.
But you're here once a week, and I notice it every week that it's a little bit longer.
Yeah, it seems to like there was a big stage in the middle where it felt like it wasn't doing anything, and then now it's just like broken past like another point. It's just having like a little spurt. I don't know.
Like it fully ties up now.
Yeah.
You've been growing it for like, I don't know, it's 3 days.
Actually, like
How long have you been growing it? This is a question I get asked all the time. Bro, how long did it take you to grow your hair? I'm like, I don't know. Because I just started and then it grew and then I cut it a few times in between. And how long does it take to grow your hair? And yours is a good one because we can figure this out. Because you had basically normal-ish short sides, a little bit longer on the top start point.
yeah, I'm going back to so episode 1. I'm loading this up right now. So it was.
I'm unleashing mine.
Oh, there we go. Right. Wow. It's just normal hair.
Yeah, you had normal hair to start with. How many weeks ago was that then? Was it when we started the podcast?
So that's over 6 months ago then.
So it's, yeah, so I'd be right then thinking 9 months to a year to grow your hair out.
Yeah. So it's still long-ish, do you know what I mean? You can't see my scalp on it. It's not a skin fade by any means. It's probably like, that's probably another like...
Is it like generic computer character haircut?
Yes, yeah. It's probably like, so I had a skin fade prior to that, but that was probably about 2 months beforehand. So altogether then from like a skin fade to this, probably put in like 8 to 9 months.
Yeah.
And like my hair touches my bottom lip now if I pull my...
From
my
the
fringe.
front?
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
Damn you. Oh, it does as well. Look at that.
Only just, but...
You look so emo right now.
If you're not watching on YouTube, you're missing out a treat.
You're missing out a treat. That is
just might do the rest of
one-eyed emo.
rest
You
of
feel like
the-
you should be behind a bus shelter complaining
CREWCast
about
like
your
this.
parents. God, life's so tough, man. God,
So,
I don't know why we even bother with the government being the way it is, man.
man.
Oh.
So,
So it's a Friday, and look at us. We are so professional. It's not even 7 o'clock, and we're already rocking and rolling.
I know.
So it's been a good week this week. What have we had? We've had some sunshine. We've had some rain, so I didn't have to go out and water the goddamn plants every day. Let's just say, as well, I'm giving up on plants. 80% of them died, even when I looked after them. Hanging baskets.
Having plants is hard.
Waste of time. Waste of time. Hanging baskets suck. Buy fake ones.
Yeah.
I just want something cool to hang around the house.
Yeah.
More work than a child.
Yeah. My nan's good with hanging baskets, but
How do
then
they keep them alive?
you should see my grandparents' garden, but they are in it every single day. I do think it is literally a full-time job to have a very well kept garden.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I personally couldn't give a shit.
I've got 2 out of 5 left.
Yeah.
They're thriving, the 2 that are all right.
You should see this. So like, I went to my grandparents yesterday, and I haven't been over for a week or 2 just because I've been busy. And they have a sunflower growing in the back garden.
Yeah.
And it was fucking huge. And I said, like, what the hell have you been doing to it? And my nan's like, literally nothing. It was like, she didn't even plant it. It was a seed that had fell from one that was there
So
the year
let me
before.
get this straight. I can't keep some hanging baskets alive, and your grandma has a 300-foot... Jesus! It is M's not short, and that's 2.5 times her height.
Yeah. So Emma, yeah, she's 5'9", and it's literally like double, if not a bit more. And the funny thing is, my nan's 4'8". So like
Amazing.
seeing my nan
It's
next
like
to
James and the giant beanstalk.
like
No,
honestly,
that's James and the giant peach.
yeah,
Who's
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Jack and the beanstalk.
Jack and the Peach
like-
and James and the Beanstalk. But the actual like stalk of it, it's genuinely like that thick. Like
So, but yeah,
it's got a
girthy.
girthy.
Everything's
stalk.
girthy.
Yeah, so, but yeah, she's like super green fingered, so everything she touches just seems to like grow. So whenever we have anything and it starts to die, I'm just like, Nan, help.
Fix it.
And then like it'll come back twice the size and just
Yeah.
like, we're just like, I don't know what she does. I think she just cares for them, that's it.
Honestly, I watered them. Then apparently I overwatered them. And I'm like, God, they're demanding.
You can get those little ball things. It's like a little bubble, and you fill it with water, and it's got like a funnel, it only lets a certain amount of water out, so it like slowly keeps them topped up.
I've
never used one. But...
It's in my male genetics to be able to care for a plant, other than a cactus. So I now own a cactus.
Yeah.
It's in the kitchen. It's still alive.
What's the other one? Aloe vera. They're easy. They don't need a lot of water.
Well, I just thought I'd get some lavender or something. But as well, I had tulips. Don't know why, but tulips seem to be a thing. So I got some, planted them. They grew. They lasted 3 days. Then a strong wind came. All the heads blew off. Yeah. I now have 3 pots of green leafy sticks. What the fuck is the point in a tulip?
Very feeble.
They're pathetic. I was if you sneeze near one, it'd fall over. And just heck shit, petals are gone.
Yeah.
And see you next year.
Yeah. I'll be back again next year.
No, you won't.
Yeah.
You get uprooted, mate. I'll put a cactus in your place.
Yeah. I used to have a thing for cactus when I was a kid. I thought they were just so cool. I wanted loads. And then I would always end up poking them. And then...
So you wanted cacti?
Cacti, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, aloe vera is a good one. That's really easy. We've got one, and it's been growing quite well.
Aloe vera. I was just not even thought about what that was.
Yeah,
of course it's a plant, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're really thick.
Do you rub it on yourself?
I don't. It's only,
can you?
It's only you can. Yeah, you can actually break it off, and yeah, you can like
make stuff from it.
Yeah. My mate Chris, he had a massive aloe vera plant. He'd grown it for years. It was literally like this big, but he had a house fire, and like everything, the house got completely destroyed. But the aloe vera plant, it was really weird. So it literally looked like it was bleeding because it's so full of liquid.
Yeah.
And the aloe vera was like burnt, and it came out almost like a deep dark red. So it literally looked like the plant was like bleeding. It was really weird.
That would have been a good picture.
Yeah. So,
that would have won some photography awards. That would have.
Yeah.
You got it
fire,
right.
Aloe vera plant bleeds.
It'd be a symbolism of the dying of the planet.
Yeah.
The bleeding plant.
Yeah. Very strange. But yeah, it doesn't need a lot of water. Literally, I think like you water it like
that's it.
Maybe like once or twice a month.
Aloe vera. There's another big one that my neighbours have got, and it's inside the house, and it makes it look like a jungle, and I love it, but I can't remember what it's called.
Don't know.
It's a common name and a common thing. It's like a big green, climby plant thing that you can have inside your house.
Most plants are big and green.
It doesn't have flowers on it. It just grows. But if I said the name of it, once I thought of it, you'd know it. You'd be like, oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm shit with stuff like that.
It is. Yeah, I'm going to make something. I'll get something. Don't get hanging baskets. That's the lesson for the week. Stupid things. Anyway,
should we?
What's been going on? Yeah, cool.
Let's have a look at what we got. This one, I'm quite excited about. This one.
This is actually. So you went and got this.
Yeah.
And then you. Did you tell me what it was on the phone or before you got here?
Yeah, I told you. I told you a little bit about it, and then I did a little bit of research because there's a place just around the corner from me, and they do all kinds of rums, whiskies. Everything you can think of, lots of wines, everything. A really, really cool little shop. Very knowledgeable about everything they've got there as well. And like I was talking to the guy and explained about the podcast and what we do. And he pulled out 5 different ones, all very different, different stories. And were you just risking that then? You were just like, it smells okay.
It's juice. But I found out, if you put Ribena in something or Vimmers, it goes off.
Right.
It doesn't last more than a day.
Oh, right.
Cherries and berries, however, Ches and Bez for life.
Immortal.
It's been here for like 3 weeks. It's still fine.
Other than the what is it? What can you get from
Plastic Death?
No, they're from Standing Water.
Oh, I can get sick from it, can I?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant! What can I get? Bet Ches and Bez will save me from it though. Being in there
potentially.
With it.
What's it called now? Standing Water. It's fucking. Oh my god! It's on the tip of
the plague. Yep, it's the plague. The Black Death.
No, because I had a mild version of it called Pontiac's disease.
I can't see it. Would it have visuals? I can't see
No, I don't think you see anything. Oh, what the fuck is it?
Well, now I don't want to drink it.
It can kill you.
Okay, let's not drink that then.
If it's literally 4 weeks. I don't know how long it takes to form.
What water were you drinking?
No, it's just water. If it's been opened...
Were you drinking from a pond?
So you don't get Pontiacs from that, so you get Pontiacs from inhaling. It's exactly the same bacteria, but so it was those like air ventilator things that you put like incense in, and then it like pumps it out.
Vaporizers.
So, like the vaporizer thing, but like just generally into your room. and Emma didn't change the water in it, and then turned it on. So we inhaled this Legionnaire's disease. That's the one.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, it's not. You people die.
Oh.
And yeah, so basically,
Why do they call it Legionnaires? Is it from an Army Day thing? From Legions?
quite possibly, yeah, stagnant water. And yeah, so we inhaled the water vapor opposed to drank it, so it's a very mild exposure to it. And we had like fevers and headaches and stuff for a good like 24 hours.
Sweet. So I'm not drinking that anymore. Let's move it so I don't keep drinking it.
So Flex dies.
Well, yeah, if I keel over, I'm pretty sure I drank from it the other week as well. Maybe a little bit of fresh air went in it when I drank it a few weeks ago. And it
I don't know how it works, mate, but
how long would your vapor sat there for? And you've been heating that so it would grow bacteria in it, wouldn't it?
Potentially, yeah, quite possibly.
The blinds
actually, it doesn't heat it. It there was like a fan thing that vaporizes it without heat. That's
really?
Yeah. I don't know how long it was there as well. Like it literally, like she just turned it on. Could have been weeks.
I'm going to bank on the cherries and berries saving me because we're cherries and berries for life.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Anyway, mate. Yeah. I'm hoping that he'll be all right.
Yeah. Anxiety for the next 48 hours now.
No, I have no idea how.
You got a tickly throat? I feel like I got a tickly throat.
I'm gonna Google how long Legionnaires takes to start to form.
Brilliant. Well, by the time you say that, I'll carry on with the story that this week we have a award-winning whiskey on here, and it's actually one that some of you, when we first started the podcast, put into our list of recommendations. And what?
So Legionnaire's disease is potentially fatal. Bacteria pneumonia infection that is contracted from breathing in water droplets or an incubation period.
Okay, well, I drank it, so I'm cool from that.
2 to 10 days with an average onset of 3 to 6 days.
No, that's not about drinking. That's just about inhaling. What about people that are wandering through a desert and find like a little puddle and like, yeah, and then you drink it up? They don't die.
I would imagine.
So maybe it's just that it's
standing water.
Have to breathe it in.
No, Legionnaire's is definitely when you drink it. Pontiac's is the more. There's a less severe version, but don't worry, mate. It was cool.
Feeling lightheaded. Feel woozy. I need my mum. Get my mum.
This may be the last episode of the CREWCast, everybody.
Get the heroin.
Yeah. We'll go.
What would you do if you were? That was it. You're done. You're going. You got this much time to live. Would you heroin it up?
No, probably not.
Definitely would. You're on the last day.
Yeah.
Would you not?
Don't appeal to me, heroin.
Apparently it's amazing though.
Yeah, but I don't know.
It's got to be. They keep going back.
Yeah, I think I'd want to be as lucid as possible though. Like I don't think I'd want to just like I'd feel like it's almost wasted out of consciousness. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you'd be back. You're not dying on the heroin.
Yeah.
Or maybe you could.
Could do.
Because when you're going to die anyway, you're not exactly going to be conscious, are you? You're going to be like eyes rolling and all that.
Yeah. I don't know.
You got to know. You got to choose.
No, probably not. I wouldn't go for heroin.
So you just sit there and slowly, feebly pass away.
No, I've already said I'd wait until the last moment. I'd jump off a building and aim for somebody.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
You little prick.
So I'd be watching you on heroin.
Yeah.
Because obviously we'd have to go together. Why not? You know.
Yeah.
Team mentality.
Yeah. Well, this is morbid. Okay, anyway.
That's not morbid. It's awesome. You're jumping off a building, aiming for somebody, and your final hurrah, and I'm fully heroined up on the top of the building, probably thinking I could fly and following you.
Yeah, just going, oh, that was great. Whoa.
Yeah, so we're definitely taking that dude out, whoever it is.
Yeah. So
Back
anyway,
to the whiskey.
Award-winning one. So yeah, went in there. How the fuck were we talking about that? Where did we tangent off?
Who knows? You went on to Legionnaire. You tried to kill me with Legionnaire.
Oh, no, you tried to kill yourself. Okay. So yeah, they told me, they gave me multiple different options, and then they pulled this one out last, and I think they said that in 2019 it won Worldwide Whiskey of the Year.
Yes.
So
is that like the Mr. Universe Championships of bodybuilding, where it's not really the universe? Or is it actually a worldwide recognised thing?
Yeah, I think
that's pretty fucking impressive.
Yeah, from what I did a little bit of Googling after, and I think that is like there's multiple awards.
A recognised worldwide championship.
Yeah.
Sick.
And should we have a little? Do you want to play your guitar? Sitar?
The CREWCast, as always, the Crew chest for the CREWCast is on the table in front of us, and to open it, we have the usual fiddly diddly. Dun, dun, dun. It's actually a really pretty bottle.
Yeah.
So it is the red breast. It has a robin on it, so I'm immediately in love with it.
Yeah, red breast, single pot still Irish whiskey.
So do you know why it's called a single pot?
Because it's stilled in a single pot.
Nope.
Because someone smoked pot and was single.
No, so it's an Irish whiskey, correct? So in Ireland, they are taxed on their barley.
Oh, yes.
So what they were doing was they used to get taxed on how much whiskey they distilled.
Yeah.
But obviously they would fiddly diddly. They would hide how much whiskey they were distilling. So they would distill it and then they'd take it off site and hide it. So they only get taxed on what was seen. The government figured this out and so started taxing them on the malted barley.
Yeah.
So they couldn't get around it. So they got taxed on the amount of barley that they used. So ever devious people that they were, they started distilling with unmalted barley and malted barley mixed because the sugar, the breakdown from the malted barley, the enzymes in that would also break down the unmalted barley equally and create the sugars needed to create the alcohol, and it would also give it a different kind of full-bodied taste still. So it still gave to the process. And the reason it's called single pot is to do not so much with the way it's made, but more to do with them evading the taxing. So it was something to do with the phrasing is to do with the fact that they went from a single malted barley to a malted with unmalted to evade taxes. It's a weird one.
I saw that it was like the single pot thing can only be an Irish whiskey, same as how like champagne can only be champagne if it's from Champagne, the Champagne region. It's the same thing there. Like you can't have a Scottish single pot still. Like it has to be Irish. And everything I saw as well. So this is like basically the benchmark of what a traditional Irish whiskey should taste like. This is like, it's been around for a long time and it's all the kind of things that you would expect from a very traditional Irish whiskey.
I guess it's because they put malted with unmalted in a single pot, and that's why. So single pot isn't so much a process; it's more of a story of what was in the pot.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah,
but that's what it says about the history of it anyway that I read up.
Yeah, won awards.
So this
is very good things.
Is this a 12-year-old?
Yeah, 12 years old, and apparently the 12 years is a minimum because there's a blend in there, so it's a minimum of 12 years, and there is some things that are a little bit older as well.
How mad's that? 12 years.
Yep.
You've got to be thinking ahead of your business game there, haven't you?
Tell me about it.
In 12 years, we'll have a bottle ready.
But this one's been going for a long time. So apparently, the company that owns Jameson's, this was like something in the 80s. They were pretty much all of the Irish whiskey companies were bought up by the IDL, Irish Distillery Limited. And they like bought all these small companies up and then kind of brought them under one roof. And then this has been like a staple for them for like since then. So it's been going for around 100 years. That's
sick.
like
Really?
Including beforehand.
Ooh, I like a bit of history.
And so the fact that this has been kept around, even though a massive company
this is why we do what we do. Like you can't get that from a Stella or a bottle of Wicked.
Yeah,
you don't get that history and that cool shit. You're drinking history when you're doing these things. I love it. You're drinking effort. You're drinking a skill set of the distiller. I love it. So we're going to pop into this. It's a lovely little bottle. I do. So for people that don't know, I do love a robin. If you put a robin on stuff, I love it because as a child, it's part of my childhood, robins. I have a robin tattooed on the inside of my arm from my favourite mug.
You've got nails, mate, because
I am nails, mate.
Oh, just fucking nails,
mate. Fucking nails, mate. What you got to do? You got a little...
I think you got to peel that little...
Peely bit.
Yeah.
Well, that is insane, isn't it?
We're stumped, mate. We ain't getting this one
That's
open.
it. No whiskey for you boys.
CREWCast cancelled. We can't get into the bottle.
That's all right. I've saved the day.
Oh.
Here he comes to save the day. Oh my God, right? Do you know they've made a new Superman series called Superman and Lois?
No.
Mate, it's the worst piece of shit on TV.
Oh.
The dude's wearing a suit that is packed out.
Yeah.
He's a guy. Google it on your phone quickly. Superman versus Lois. And then I want your initial reaction to the guy they've chosen to play Superman. That's all you need to do. And anyone who hasn't heard of it or seen it before or knows more about it, tell me why they've done it, because it is horrific. There's the face I wanted.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And,
What's the dude's name so people can search it themselves?
So I've just typed in Superman and Lois and went on Google Images, but the guy's
Find the guy's name. And then what I want you guys to do at home is Google this guy's name and then...
Tyler Hoechlin. Hoechlin? Hoechlin. Hoechlin?
Tyler Hoechlin. Just type in Tyler Superman and then Google it and then comment in the comment section of wherever you're at or on our YouTube, please. Help fight the algorithm. Your first reaction when you saw it. Mine was... What the hell were they thinking?
Look at that. He's got.
He looks Mexican,
Yeah.
for starters.
Yeah.
He's got no features that resemble Superman the way we all know him.
He's got quite a small,
He's got
delicate
he looks
little head
elfin.
and neck.
He looks elfin.
On top of like a big
Look at
beefy
it.
body that's obviously
He
not
looks like
his.
a pixie.
Yeah.
He looks like a pixie.
He doesn't look like he belongs to the body. Well,
And
because he doesn't.
Well, he doesn't because that's not his body. That is a foam-filled Superman suit.
Yeah. That's
What
strange.
a jest.
Yeah, that.
You've got the likes of Cavill getting jacked, putting in the effort. That, and you know what's hilarious in it, and I don't care if I spoil it for you because you shouldn't be watching it anyway because it's shit. I've only watched one episode and I had to watch it to the end just to see if it redeemed itself. It doesn't. They've made Lex Luthor black. Shock. What a shock. Let's make a main character black. Nobody cares. Black people don't care. They don't want a black Lex Luthor. You middle-aged white man who made that decision.
Yeah.
Dickhead. Lex Luthor in the history of Superman has been a white dude. Just leave it. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
He's not a cool white dude either.
Yeah.
So if anything, you're insulting black people because you're now making the gooniest character black.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't. Yeah. No one gives a shit.
no one gives a shit. Stop ruining shit. And I'm not opening it until I've had my rant.
I'm just there, desperate,
Stop looking at
emotionally staring. It was
yeah,
like,
because we've got to do the podcast. But yeah, at one point, okay, this is how bad it is. They've made him a family man. He has 2 sons. One of them looks like an emo. The other looks like he should be called Corey or Chad, right? And the emo one has social anxiety disorder. Are you fucking kidding me? They've made Superman into Family Ties. He looks like an emo. He walks around moping. He has an epiphany, right? Something happens where there's an accident. And in one moment where there's one accident in the entirety of his 16 years of life, he immediately questions that he might not be human. Like, no hint has been given at all prior to this that he thinks anything untoward other than that he's a pathetic little person who's sad.
yeah.
Because he's got social anxiety disorder. You know, he looks... Also, one looks like he should be called Corey or Chad, like I said. So what's the immediate image you have in your head? Classic American, like, all-star thing. Yeah. He looks like he should be Jewish.
Yeah.
So how are they brothers? Lois in it,
Yeah.
I swear, is a woman from horror movies because she's got a lazy eye.
Oh.
Yeah, brilliant casting. And... So there's one moment, right, where he questions his whole life, which leads him to finding, you know, his little pod in the barn, crypto pod.
Yeah.
And there's a point, right? So they're 16 or 17 years old, okay? He has not told them he's Superman. They don't know. No, gets better. Gets better. They have the accident, so one of them's like, there's something not right. You're not telling us something. I shouldn't have survived. But in an American accent, way weenier and more annoying. He looks at them and he goes, and Lois looks at him and like, we've got to tell him. And he goes, I arrived here. That was mine. I arrived here. I was sent from another planet to, you know, help the human race or blah, blah, blah. And they look at him and they go, and they go, you're trying to say you're Superman? We've seen Superman. You're not Superman. He literally looks at Lois, looks at them, and then takes off his glasses. And they're like, oh. So in 16 years of your life, you've never seen your father without a pair of glasses on. Kids walk into their parents' rooms when they're dicking each other, and you're telling me you've never seen your dad without his glasses on. That's
the biggest flaw in the whole fucking Superman universe.
He doesn't even adjust his hair.
Yeah.
It's not like he takes his glasses off and then slicks his hair back and they go, whoa. Yeah. It's just his glasses on his ultimately super recognizable pixie face.
Yeah. Wow.
Get fucked. And they've put Superman and Lois, you know, to make it gender neutral titling. The whole thing is a farce. No woman cares that Lois isn't in the title when Superman films come out.
About her as much as him?
No.
No.
They're just, they're a family.
I suppose that's...
It's always a bit about her, or 50-50, isn't it? The movies, she's a massive character in them, in the originals.
I suppose that's it, isn't it? To then give it the family orientation, but...
Yeah.
Sounds terrible.
Awful. Never watching another episode.
What's that on?
I did it on the Legal Downloads.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. Yeah. It's called Superman and Lois, and you should definitely not watch it, other than to go on and complain about it. It's quite fun to moan while you're watching about it, picking out all the bullshit. And then just never watch it again. Terrible. Terrible.
Can we have the whiskey?
You're going to need one now. Great. So here we go. This is the Redbreast. Oh, it's got what's it when it's not deep? Is it embossed? In the glass, it says Redbreast right across that. So you could even read it if you're blind.
Apparently, it's the actual colour of the whiskey's got like a light reddy tint to it.
It even says on the back as well in embossed single pot still. That's really cool. I like that. Really old school kind of wrapper labelling as well. Highly awarded and critically acclaimed Redbreast 12 is a single pot still Irish whiskey comprising exclusively of pot still whiskies, which have been triple distilled and matured in the finest oak casks for no less than 12 years. That's legit. Now, you said on this we should be tasting.
So, from what I heard, there's going to be...
Oh, that was super cheeky.
Yeah, that was a good one. So it said some like honey, some buttery, like almost shortbready kind of buttery biscuit scent.
It smells delicious.
And some like berry notes as well.
I can smell berries straight away. Put that to your face. Almost sherry-esque.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Because I think it is a sherry cask, isn't it?
Is that what it is? Because I smelt sherry straight away. So if that's true, then I feel awesome.
sure it's a sherry
cask. A rich mix of dried fruit and spice with toasted oak and sherry undertones. We are actually getting good at this shit.
Yep. I can't smell any of the butteriness. I can smell a bit of honey, a bit of berry.
We've not experienced butteriness before, so I don't know how we're supposed to detect that. Maybe it's in the drink. Maybe it's like more of a heavy smoothness to it or something.
And this got, from what I saw, out of 100 when this won the 2019 Worldwide Whiskey Award, it got 98 out of 100.
That's insane, isn't it?
So that's a very good score.
I'm gonna pour a bit more because I feel like this one's gonna be delicious.
Hold it up to the light as well, see if it is. It does have a little bit of a red hint to it.
It's a green bottle though.
I mean, in the glass.
Oh, sorry. You get me. Oh, it's starting well. Brain's on form. It is very amber nectary colour. It's very amber, isn't it? Oh, mate, that is delightful to sniff.
That's what she said.
Oh, honestly, if you're addicted to glue sniffing, you could switch up to this. It'd be a lot less painful for you as well. Probably a bit more expensive on their wallet, but you'd probably die less.
Yeah.
Can you die from glue sniffing?
Yes.
Can you?
Yes.
Is not when you start huffing gas?
No, glue can kill you as well.
Really?
Yeah, don't do it.
Not PVA though. You can eat that stuff.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, knock back a.
It's vegan as well. PVA glue.
Is it?
Yeah. So vegans, they go to town. Eat as much PVA glue as you like. It really smells of sherry, can't you?
Yeah, that smells lovely.
And we've got no ice in this, I'd like to point out. We had a bit of a battle trying to find out whether we should have this with ice or not, but we're treating it as a single malt. So we're having it with no ice. Yeah. I'm going to stop slouching. I'm very slouchy today.
Should we just go straight in?
Yes. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Happy Friday and happy Monday to everybody at home.
Yeah.
Oh, now I get that butteriness. Right off the bat. Oh, wow. Yeah, you really do get a buttery kind of... Oh, yeah. That is lovely, mate.
Fuck, that's so nice.
That is delicious. So I got a real creamy, buttery taste straight on my tongue the moment it hit my mouth. No heat, no nothing. And then immediately afterwards, I got the sherry kick and fire. And it went from the back of my mouth right the way forward.
Yeah. Wow.
But nothing down the throat.
No, that was really nice. That like secondary taste that came in, it was like super.
It's really segmented though, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's like I've never had any of these drinks that have had very like clearly defined tastes.
Yeah,
it's almost like phase 1, phase 2.
Yeah,
phase
it was
3.
as it went over the tongue, as it went back, it set each part of your tongue off separately.
Like the aftertaste now is that kind of shortbready, like
that's where I recognise it.
Butteriness.
Buttery shortbread.
Yeah,
that is. Yeah, similar thing to when you have a really buttery shortbread and coats your tongue.
Yeah, you have that taste afterwards. I'm going in again.
Ooh, I'm going to restart the video whilst we're going again. Because I'd like to point out last week, we had no blackouts.
Well done, Lex.
Yeah.
We're doing it again this week.
No blackouts.
Let's go in. Number 2.
Okay, number 2. Oh my God, number 2 is even more delicious. The heat is way less on the second sip. 3, 4, 5. There's a bit of the heat back. That is so buttery and smooth. Oh wow. Yep, that is delicious. That's very... I see what they mean by the shortbread.
Yeah.
I get heavy sherry taste with shortbread and then heat, but not a peppery heat.
No.
an actual warming.
Yeah.
I don't know where that goes, mate, in the list. That's up
I know where
there.
it goes for me.
That is up. What was my favourite so far? The Gentleman Jack.
Yeah. For me.
See, the difference with the Gentleman Jack is you've got the sweet honey-esque bourbon in there. So that is more of a buttery.
It's still sweet, but in a different way, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's just not going to get sweeter. I think it's going to get smoother. Whereas the Jack gets sweeter. That's tough. That's in my top 3.
Oh.
You're number 1 in that, aren't you? Straight
Yeah,
off the
that for me, that's...
You're a man of acquired tastes, sir.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with that.
45 £45 a bottle. For this one.
I have seen you can get it a tad cheaper. You can get it for
42.
about 42, 43.
Yeah. But yeah, there is it. Support your smaller businesses and pay the extra £3.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm happy to as well. The fact that I wouldn't have picked that unless he spent the time. He spent a good 10 minutes just pulling it out and explaining the different ones. And
I bet they love it when you go in and you're just a dummy.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, we can teach you some stuff.
Yeah.
Here, try this. Oh, try this. Ooh, lick this. No, sir, that's not what I'm here for. Oh, I'll put it away. Sorry.
You know what? I could actually speak to him and see about getting him.
I want him to lick it.
I meant getting him on the podcast.
On the podcast. Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Getting to bring some little tasty things in for us to try and learn.
Yeah.
I want to do it with chocolate. I'm determined to do I want to do the chocolate one, where you eat certain chocolates and then have the drink.
Well, they do basically. It's a shop where you can go around, but they've got this little built-out bar area, and you can hire it as like a function room. You can only fit maybe 5 people in or something, and you can actually just have little parties there, and you can test different drinks, and then any ones that you like, you can buy at the end. So I'm wondering whether we could maybe take the CREWCast on the road there and just do it there one of the nights.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, and then obviously we could get one of them in.
You want to dare to mess with the electronics? Do you know what we could do?
The place looks so sick though.
Road mic it.
Yeah.
No, because we need 3. God, you want me to take all this and an extra weird mic that I had to MacGyver last week and make it work? You are dreaming.
All it is just unplugging. We haven't got to mess with the settings though, have we?
Yeah, it's a different, complete environment though. Here we're in a single room. Everything's kind of the same consistency. There's going to be sound bouncing off everywhere. I'm assuming it's going to be stone walls. World of difference.
Well, we can think about it.
We can try.
Well, you need to go down first. We go down there because it's not a huge place and it's made up of multiple smaller rooms.
Yeah.
So the actual, the one room isn't much bigger than this.
We'll go have a look. Let us know if you'd like that. Would you like us to take it to a place where we do the drinking, learning about the drinking, and chat about some stuff? Because I'm taking the day off Instagram today. Because
which is why there's no questions.
There's no question time today for you guys. Sorry.
But
we do have questions left over from last week because we got carried away and started really late. And then we also just, I don't know, we were on a long one last week. It was over 2 hours. Wasn't it? Or no, did we keep it in the time frame?
No, we did keep that one in.
Because we started
late. We started at 10:30 at night.
Yeah, we were on that one. And poor Lee was falling asleep. Oh, we do have something extra for
I also, while I was there, I said, have you got any mini cigars? Because I know I always come over and eat all Alexis' food and smoke all his cigars. So I was just like, I'll pick something up.
Do you know what? Everyone came over last week. I had all the boys over. We were filming the fight series. You came over for the podcast. Everybody was here. Lee was here riding. Mark was here riding. I went riding for the weekend. Oh, yeah, I forgot to talk about that. I went riding for the weekend. Full weekend. Just took off on the motorbikes. A guy came over. I'll talk about it in a second. I'll cover it. So, yeah, by the time everyone had left, I realised I had no food in the house. All my chairs and bears was gone.
All of it.
All my chairs and bears was gone. I was down to my final bottle. I had a mild anxiety attack because I was having withdrawal symptoms. And, I had to actually go and order. I actually had to go into a Sainsbury's to get some food to tide me over until my home delivery arrived.
Oh, my days.
And I only went in to get 4 things. Guess how long I was in Sainsbury's for?
Half an hour.
Yeah. How does that happen?
You can't get out. You can't. It's impossible to be any less than half an hour.
So kindly, Lou has picked up these Villager. Now, I have miniatures.
Yeah.
Which is different. You've got mini cigars.
Yeah.
Mine are miniatures, which are, I'd say, a third of the size of these. These are actually quite meaty, mate.
Yeah.
These are going to be decent. So we're trying these. They're called Villager cigars, and my immediate sniff test on them came back horse hay bales, bedding straw.
Yeah.
That's what it smells like. It smells like horses to me immediately.
Yeah, I know what you mean, exactly.
So my theory is this is grown on a farmer's land by a farmer next to his horses, and we're about which is...
It makes a very bold statement. Classic export villager. And if you can see this on YouTube...
Do you know which way you pulled yours out? Because that has no tapered packed end to look at to me.
Like that. I don't think it matters.
It should matter. There should be a tightly packed end and a looser packed end.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, no, this side, you can see there. There is a little bit of a taper.
We are possibly going to smoke these back to front. But
There's
we're
a
going to
little
take
bit of a taper.
guess.
And you can see, look at that side there, is more tightly packed than that side.
Yours is clear. Mine not so much. Oh, a little bit.
Oh, that's the smoke. That's the sucking end.
That's the sucky end.
Yeah. As you can tell, we are cigar experts.
We are. Highly qualified. Sucky end, non-sucky end.
Yep.
It's like when we have a gun.
Yeah.
Don't point the pointy end towards your face.
Yeah. Blended with Cuban tobacco.
Ooh.
And also,
Can we get some
smoking can kill your unborn child.
Yeah, this is inside the packet. When you so can we just the Villager packet, right? It's a yellow that you would see from the 80s. So if you imagine one of those old yellow 80s t-shirts, do you look good with the cigar in the mouth? These are decent. I'm gonna get some of these. These look manly. Mine are just fun. These are manly.
Yeah, I wonder how long these will take.
Everyone thinks mine are joints.
Yeah.
Nobody's thinking this is a joint.
No, this is
People
actually a
know
legit
this is
cigar.
a cigar.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you fair is that people think mine are blunts, which are different to a joint.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Yeah, so the packaging of this Villager, it looks like something from the 80s. Like, just everything about it, I love it. It's really, really retro looking. And it says, obviously, the usual smoking kills you on the front. But then you open it up, and inside, I'll show you,
If you
on
needed
the YouTube,
more reminding.
it's all white. And then on the inside thing, it says, smoking can kill your unborn child. Which, if you think about it, is suggesting that if you are childless right now and not even trying for a child, that smoking could kill your theoretical unborn child. Like, there's a little ghost fetus somewhere floating around waiting for you to impregnate somebody, and every time you have one of these little cigars, it just goes, ow, ooh, why, daddy, why must you smoke that? You're killing me. Very, very assuming.
It is.
Yes. So there you go. That'll make you chuckle. Next time somebody opens one of these and says smoking can kill your unborn child, they're going to hopefully be around other people, remember this podcast, and laugh.
Yeah.
And then those people will look at them like they're a psychopath.
Yep. Probably.
Like we did, actually. We just looked at that and laughed, both of us.
Yeah. We're just like, well,
I just imagine Casper.
It's because it's such a...
I imagine
such a
Casper being
statement.
like, oh my.
Such a statement.
I genuinely love that branding.
It's cool, isn't it?
It's just like something from the 80s. I imagine it being in an advert for like a Walkman or something.
Yeah.
Love it. I might get some of those myself, dude.
They have like a little
It might
cigar.
be my new addition to the house.
They have a little cigar cabinet there at the
work,
wine press.
Do you work for the wine press, Lou?
I-
Do you
I-
own part of the wine? Are
I
you
don't,
a shareholder
I don't own it.
in the
I
wine
actually
press?
did work there. I
Did you?
I installed a load of their shelving and stuff like that when I was on my old job.
That's why you've got a
Yeah, so you know-
walk in, you're like, dead my shelving.
Yeah, you know when you were looking and you were like, oh, that's really cool. It's all uplit because it's all raw steel and like.
Yeah.
So
when you buy something from them, do you give them the eye like, you wouldn't have sold this to me as much if I didn't put that shelving in?
To be fair, they the one of the guys who owns it, or I think it's his dad's, he does give me a discount because I spent the day there working with him. So whenever I do go, but I didn't see him today. But I'm not like going looking for a discount.
Yeah.
It's just genuinely a really good place.
Yeah, I will be. I'll be waiting for the dad.
I did subtly was also we do a podcast and
Do you enjoy the shelving that I put in for you?
Yeah.
I'm going to walk in and go, I know the guy that made those shelves
Yeah,
that helps you sell the stuff.
there you go, mate.
Here we go. Right, so the sucky end is that end. Light it up.
I think there's still more to go.
I think I need a bit
A
of
little bit more.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a bit heftier, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, that's going now. Oh, there we go.
Good.
Ooh, that's smooth, dude.
Yeah.
Even out your nose, it's not even that peppery. Although it's probably going to get more peppery the further down we get. Yeah, it's nice. And it is very different to putting that in your mouth to putting the miniature in your mouth. That is to me is still a proper cigar-y kind of level. Look at us being men. Drinking whiskey and smoking cigars. With a skull lighter. Oh, that's some powerful smoke rings.
Wow.
Yes. Oh, I need to get some of these. Can we have some suggestions, please, for the... Now, what do they call these? Because they're not... Are they...
Villager
What are they
Classic
classed?
Exports.
What are
So
they
these
classed?
aren't like a big cigar.
Yeah, but what
like
do
I
they
said.
call them? Is it because it's? Yeah, they just say cigars. They're just a cigar. They're just a smaller version. They're not a miniature. They're not. They're just a cigar. Let's go. Can we have some good cigars that aren't like? I've got some downstairs, like Juliet ones, and they're like £10 to £20 a go. Whereas I'd rather have some that I could get in all the time and share around, and not be like handing out tenors as I'm handing them out.
Yeah,
That'd be
because
nice.
the other ones, all of the other cigars. So I can't remember. I think it was about £15 for 5. So it was still quite expensive, but not crazy expensive.
Yeah, it's like £3 each. That's not bad. I don't mind giving out, that.
Yeah,
But
the other ones, like
Some of them.
pretty much the next one, they were all sold individually, and they were like £13 each. As a minimum, they went up to like £30-40 each.
yeah, mad, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's crazy. But that's why when people smoke cigars, when you see somebody smoking a cigar and enjoying it, they paid to enjoy that shit. They're genuinely having a moment. It's not like a cigarette where it's an addiction as such. It's that they've got something, it's got a flavour profile, they're having it with a drink that matches it.
Yeah.
There's a whole thing. That's what I love about it all. It's just one of those. And you're not smoking a cigar every day. You're doing it once a week, That's what we
at
do.
most, yeah.
Yeah, I maybe have a miniature, which is a fifth of the size of these, twice a week.
Yeah.
And that's including when you're over. Now, you've upped my risk of my unborn child dying.
Yeah. Sorry, mate.
You've upped the risk of my theoretical child perishing by at least 5 times. So I hope you feel good about yourself.
That tastes different now.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with your week then, whilst I smoke and drink whiskey?
So I ummed and ahed whether to bring this up on the CREWCast, but I thought realistically it's probably a good thing
You should come out eventually.
as gay.
Yeah, just do it.
I'm coming out as a source.
Em needs to know. She's probably known for years anyway.
She has.
You got the house together now, so she's set anyway. She's like, yeah, you can come out now. We're sorted. We've got the mortgage.
So
We've
anyway,
got a cellar.
that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to come out in about 30 years' time.
I just went full fiction. Oh, with the gimp.
Zed's dead, baby.
Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead.
So,
What
yeah.
a movie.
Anyway, so like I ummed and ahed about kind of talking about this on the podcast because it's not really being genuine. This isn't something I've really spoken to about with anybody other than Emma. And over the last like 3-4 weeks, I've been in a pretty shitty place. And
Like workplace or just general?
just in general, very, very low mood, very low energy. Really like kind of, just not having a great time. Had some bad news with a friend recently as well, which hasn't helped. And lots of other things have kind of felt like they've stacked up a little bit. And as of like the last day or two, I've kind of, just rolled with it and just not.
Yeah, because it was 10 days ago, maybe now.
Yeah.
You had that.
Yeah, found out some real bad news about a
news,
friend who's,
Which,
passed away.
in the circumstances it happened, would be hard for.
Yeah.
Anyway,
There was some other stuff going on beforehand, and that was just kind of like another thing. I'm not going to go into any of the details about it, but yeah, and these are the kind of things that we spoke about a lot towards the start of the CREWCast of like, how to
Well, that's all we can do, isn't it? We
manage-
can experience something and talk about it. So.
yeah, manage your mood and try and like sort things out. And I think I'd be disingenuous to like not talk about the fact that that's something that's been going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
And although I'm not gonna go around telling people this is my problems in an everyday situation, I feel like at least this is a decent platform where
Well, we've had so much feedback from people how it helps other people.
yeah.
And this is important for you to talk about it, let's be honest.
Yeah, so like we haven't even spoke about it too much. Obviously, you knew about the issue with my friend,
Yeah.
and other things like that. But I always try to at least outwardly keep, a decent positive outlook. But I have been in a not an ideal place for a little while, and I feel like as the last few days, genuinely just being pissed off with myself because I'm just like, all right, I'm fucking done with this now. But
Annoyed at being where you were in your mindset.
Yeah, annoyed at where I'm at right now and wanting to make a change and telling myself that I'm going to, but then not doing it. And I thought, for the sake of accountability and everything else, I might say what I'm going to do, and then when we talk again next week...
Yeah, you have to do it now.
Yeah, then we talk again next week, and I can hopefully then come back to you and be like, I had a really good week this week.
Which is usually what we do. Yeah, I had a similar thing, feeling a bit overwhelmed with all the work. Obviously nothing compared to your emotional turmoil that you had to deal with. Mine was more just the usual busy work thing and myself. But I was saying I had to take the accountability. I had to actually write it down.
Yeah.
You know, like we talked about last week. We talked about it literally. The reason we talked about it is because that's what I was going to do for myself. Take stock of what I saw as being a problem and how I was going to fucking fix it.
Yeah.
Focus on the fixes rather than the problems.
Yeah.
So go on.
Yeah,
what is your strategy?
So this is going to be unremarkable for the most part, but it's basically looking back on over the last year or so, looking at things that I was doing that made me more productive. So one thing for me, so I think this is a good kind of tool for a lot of people to do, is try to look at your flaws, try to understand what they are, because in knowing what they are and facing up to them, that's something that you can kind of work around. One of my biggest issues personally is being very, very critical of myself. In
a non-positive way.
Yeah, to the point. So, like, obviously, I wouldn't say it's positive or negative. There is pros and cons to both of it, but being very critical of myself and then holding myself to a standard that when I don't achieve that, I basically beat myself up over it. And realistically, like, why? I don't need to. And the self-talk and stuff like that, that is one thing that I do talk about, and I've talked about in the past on here, how important that is, but it's something that I really struggle to practice. So although because I pride myself on being productive and doing well and working hard, because, this is something that I talked with Emma about, my kind of reasoning why I don't ever like to let up is because when I was in school, I performed very badly because of being dyslexic, having behavioural issues, and I left school thinking I was stupid, and my only way I was going to get ahead in life was by working harder than everyone else. And I was just like, I'm not, not naturally particularly intelligent. I just
disagree.
I
disagree.
I have to.
That's one thing I think you
push for more.
You downbeat yourself on is your intelligence. You're dyslexic, so you struggle to study in that sense.
Yeah.
But now that's not a factor. You're not reading from textbooks under pressure of a classroom with an exam under the way.
Yeah.
Your level of intelligence, the way you think about what you have to do, how you structure what you have to do, how you follow through on your goal sets. I learn from you every fucking week. Like, your intelligence level is way above what you anticipate. And it's cool. You can keep thinking you're dumb if that helps you to keep pushing you forward. Like, if that's your drive to think, like, I need to work harder. But your intellect level, you'd certainly, like, I think if you were to go back through schooling now with your mentality, you would smash university degrees. Like, easy.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I think a lot of people do this, though.
Yeah.
Downplay their own intelligence because they've been told they're stupid.
Yeah, I think, and I was 100% told I was stupid and many other things.
There we go.
So, yeah, that is something that I always have running in the back of my mind that I can't let up, because if I do, I'm not fortunate enough to be one of them people that can just glide through on skill or anything else. I felt that everything I've ever had to do is because I'm working harder than other people to try and achieve that. So that when I have, because no one can have their foot on the pedal all the time, and when I ease off, and not necessarily intentionally, when I just, I don't know, when I just go through a phase of not being as productive as I'd like, I end up really getting pissed off with myself and beat myself up about it, and which only then makes me less productive because I end up
spiraling.
Yeah, I'll spiral a little bit. So anyway, that's kind of a bit of where I'm at, and I think
Can I ask you something before you carry on?
Yeah.
Because before we lose that point, where you spiral, do you spiral? Because this is what happens to me, and I had this when I had this struggle with creating content. I was watching other content to try and inspire me because I love cinematography and all that. But I would watch something, appreciate it, and then have a mild breakdown by watching a scenario, watching the amount of screen cuts, watching the amount of angles, watching the amount of effort that went into it. And then I would start thinking, wow, that's a lot of thought process to come up with that one shot.
Yeah.
How did they think to do that shot? How did they think to do that shot? Oh my God, I could never think to do that shot. And then you can see where it's going.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's no way I could think to do that. How did they structure that to do it? I could never do that. God, I can't structure that. Oh, I can't do this.
Yeah,
Is
definitely.
it the same, similar mindset, or do you just go straight to like a set point of, I'm shit?
No, so
Or is it a step by step?
I would agree. So if it's very task specific, then you would see the grand picture. I would see the grand picture and be like, "Fuck! There's so many elements that I need to be looking after here. This is not manageable. I'm not even going to start it because I can't handle it and I'm not capable of doing it."
Yeah, that whole, where do I even start?
Yeah. But even though I know, and this is something that I do all the time, I will. When I'm in a better mindset, I will purposely drop myself in a situation where I'm overwhelmed because I trust my or when I'm in a good place, I trust my capabilities to work out how to do it. So I will just drop in and figure shit out as I go along.
That's all I've ever done.
Yeah. That's it. I think that's what most
I say
people
yes to shit I have no idea how to complete, and I just do it. Get it done.
Yeah, exactly. And so I used to draw quite a bit and paint, and I don't really do it too much.
I think we should start that again.
I've
I
actually
used to
been
do that.
I've been really thinking about starting drawing again recently, just as a little bit of an outlet. But I have this on like a micro scale when I start my drawing, and obviously it's a really loose sketch. And obviously you layer things up and you add details and you make changes. But I start, and for the first hour, I'm fucking hating it, and I'm like, this is shit. What am I doing? And then it starts to take shape, and I'm like, oh, right, okay, yeah. And I know that that's the process. You don't instantly start a drawing and it looks good.
If you haven't drawn for a long time, you are shit at drawing.
Yeah.
Again. It's like riding a bike, though, isn't it? The more you do it, the more confident you get. But if you don't sketch, you literally lose the ability to do certain detailing. And I haven't sketched, I would legitimately say, for about over 10 years. I haven't taken up a pencil, nothing.
Yeah, I think I've done like the odd, maybe tiny thing, but it's probably, I think it was Emma's 21st. I remember we went away to London and I took a pen and paper with me, and pencil and paper, and just, we had loads of time in between doing stuff, and I just remember chilling in the hotel room, like sketching some stuff out. I did this like really cool, it was like a mechanical hummingbird.
You showed me it.
Yeah.
That was sick.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I remember you showed me that, and I was like, you drew this? Like, you're talented.
It was, I'm not too bad. Like, a drawing I'm okay at. I've never been great with painting.
Do you know what would be cool? You should draw something that you then frame and put up in your new house.
That'd be cool. I actually, before we moved in, I was actually thinking about doing some more modern art style painting, because there's so many like really cool techniques with like messing around with paint cans. Literally, like it would be.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
literally just something very abstract. Yeah, because like I really like abstract art as well. Actually, who's your favorite artist? If you have one.
Do you know? I don't know if I have one outright.
Yeah, I really like Salvador Dali. Have you seen his stuff?
Oh, sorry, bash the mic again. They've got to do it once a week. Got to keep up the consistency. Show me a picture of his, and I guarantee I will have seen it.
The most famous.
Do you know what I did see?
Salvador Dali's is his melting clocks.
Oh, I love that one.
Very like
melting timepiece.
He was like a I don't know all the details about him, but he was a sex fiend, a weird old Spanish man, I believe.
I went to the Louvre and went around there, saw the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
Least impressive thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's tiny.
Oh, really?
It's like this big. I'm talking like that. What's that? Like 50 centimeters?
Yeah.
That's how big
That's it? Really?
It's tiny.
Wow.
I walked around the Louvre. I was impressed by every other piece of art.
That's Salvador Dali.
That's him.
Yeah.
What a man. He looks like he should be in a horror movie from the 70s.
Yeah. So this is some of like his artwork.
Oh,
so it's super obscure, very twisted.
Mate, the long insect-legged elephants. I've seen that before. Yeah, I know this stuff.
Yeah, the melting clocks. I think is his most.
Dude, this is DMT. Was he a psychedelic artist?
Yeah, I think he was into.
He had to be. There's no
drugs.
way he wasn't. There's no way. Oh, I've lost it. You've got an Android phone. I'm now on the Beetlejuice face and Pornhub.
Sorry, yeah, that's just my.
That's just your history. Beetlejuice porn. I bet bet that's a thing.
It most definitely
Oh my
is.
God. Please somebody search that. I don't want to ruin Lewis's phone. Oh, I like this. Yeah, that's cool.
So Salvador Dali stuff's very, very abstract, very interesting, but still like very skillful. It's not abstract to the point where it's just
It's very, very
random
detailed
shit.
work, but it is 100% psychedelics. There is no way on earth that is not inspired by psychedelic trips. I want to go to do a full-on like psychedelic trip somewhere. Like I want to go to somewhere with a shaman and do it.
Yeah,
I really want to do it.
sounds interesting.
You just have to find. The problem is you have to find a legitimate guy, because some of them are just charlatans making money, and they give you like an extreme experience so that you go back and tell wild stories. I don't want to do that. I want to learn some life-changing internal awakenings, I guess. You know, because on my own, I've done some things that have literally changed the way in which I view the world, and outwardly people have noticed that I am a much happier, more creative and settled human being.
Yeah.
And it is honestly a result of my dedicated trials in controlled environments with certain substances that broaden your mindset.
Yeah.
And I am so for them now, but also I'm still very, very controlled with it all. So I'm not the kind of person who's going to be given a lot of mushrooms and take them,
Yeah.
you know, because I think you can end up in some bad places,
Yeah.
uncontrolled. You know, I don't believe in that. I believe that, you know, sometimes not everything can be a perfect trip, but some of the tougher ones are the ones that often lead you to some of the biggest breakthroughs and happiest changes you'll ever make in your life. So not everything, but some of it. Like I was able to say goodbye to my grandfather, who passed away when I wasn't with him. I was able to close that door. I was able to close the door on some of my past and move forward with a new life because of it. You know, it's been huge in such positive ways, and I've had other people come and experience it with me who've also had huge life-changing, not a feeling, but visions and teachings, literally spoken to by ethereal beings.
Yeah. I think
It's huge.
I think that one of the things, I've never done anything too crazy. I've done mushrooms when I was younger, but didn't experience the full.
Yeah, I'm struggling that. Yeah, mine's gone out. I'm just gonna. You keep talking. I'm just gonna do the time thing.
Okay, mate. Yeah, so I didn't do the full kind of psychedelic experience. I just did mushrooms when I was a kid, just because that's some shit that you do. But I think one thing is the perspective that you can get from some psychedelics potentially. Like you can realise that there's more.
There is 100% more to this universe than you realise. Around you, everywhere, is just a whole nother world we're not connected to anymore. And I truly believe that it, especially what I don't want to publicise what I've done. Just I don't want to encourage people to do things out of my suggestion.
Yeah.
If people want to message me privately, that's fine. But and I know actually I did put out this here that people did want me to talk about my psychedelic experiences. We will dedicate an entire podcast to that because we can talk about the use of different things like weed, which are now legal, and also psychedelics. But I think we need to dedicate a question time to that as well.
Yeah, I think we need because we've also had the female chat. The talking how to approach women.
We did that. Did we do that?
No, not a solid
So
dedicated
we've got
one.
2 whole podcasts we can do on subject matter.
Yeah, we've got some good subject matter ones, so maybe that can be over the next couple of weeks.
We can definitely do that.
I'll just round up what I was talking about in terms of what I'm actually gonna.
So your goal set to overcome this kind of downward point you had.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a low point.
I'm going to restart recording before you do that, so we don't miss
go for
any with blackouts, because no blackouts, people.
No blackouts.
I got you back. Yeah, it's that simple. That simple. No blackouts, no gremlins. Suck it, electronics.
So the one of the things that I found very useful in terms of just general motivation and making sure that I adhere to some consistent rules that I want to follow was just making sure I had my whiteboard set out and I had the whole month laid out and different things that I wanted to achieve on each day. So if it was a training day, which would get ticked off. If it was a day to meditate, which would be every day. Make sure I have my supplementation. Make sure I listen to some kind of an audiobook or something that was putting me in a positive mindset or made me feel more productive, because That's the beauty of it. If you're just going out for a walk and you're just going out for a walk for the sake of experiencing nature and having a good time, then that's obviously fine. That's a really beneficial thing.
Yep.
If you're going out for a walk and you're just getting your steps in, why not listen to something that's going to educate you at the same time? Because you're just going to feel like you're so much more of a productive person. And that level of productivity, that's one thing that I do have a bit of an attachment to, that, you know, I know that that's something that plays in. So I'm going to get my whiteboard set back up with my whole kind of month schedule of the things that I need to do on each day, so I can tick each thing off as it goes. And then when we actually break down the individual things, meditation itself, just having, even if it's a few minutes.
So you're setting yourself meditations every day?
Yep. Even if it's literally a few minutes, I'm aiming for 10 minutes, but even if I can only do 2 minutes, that's fine.
Really? You can meditate in 2 minutes?
I won't get into a deep meditative state. It's more just the attempt and the habit forming factor of things. I'm not going to be in deep meditation in 2 minutes. I can't get into deep meditation at the best of times because, especially at the moment, my mind is very cluttered.
Yeah.
My sleep is pretty poor at the moment as well. And because of the, you know, I suppose one of the things that's gone on with one of my friends, when you have that downtime, when you're in bed, and normally I'll put on an audiobook which will help me drift off, I'm really struggling to actually do that because a lot of the conversations with my friend crop back up and like replaying what could have happened otherwise and different situations, which is a pointless exercise, and it's not helping anyone, especially not me.
That is really because it's a loop that you're going to get caught in that has no end.
Exactly.
There's no answer. There's no solution to that. You know,
it's
you will never know and can't ever know.
Said and done. So my sleep routine, I already had a decent sleep routine before, which has gone tits up, and part of that is because of some of the supplementation that I was taking beforehand, which did help me get.
What were you taking to help sleep?
Ashwagandha, 5-HTP, zinc
You're
and
not
magnesium.
supposed to take 5-HTP for long periods, though, are you? So what do you do? How long do you do it for?
So from what I've seen, it's not necessarily the duration, it is the consistency. So if you can cycle it, so having a day on, day off, things like that.
Okay.
So that's how I was doing it, literally just like one every other day.
It's the serotonin affecting.
Yes,
supplement,
5-HTP.
isn't it?
Yeah, so 5-HTP, if I remember right.
You have to be
converts
really
to-
careful with that if you're taking anything to do with serotonin level balancing. So if you're on any kind of like antidepressant or anything like that,
Yes.
do not fuck with HTP because
Yeah.
they can be counterintuitive.
Yep, that's nothing that I'm not currently on any medication. So for me, that's something that I have experienced works fairly well. Also, I'm potentially going to be grabbing some CBD products as well, because in the past, CBD has really helped. And again, I'll just be really honest. The last couple weeks, I've been drinking every night or smoking weed pretty much every night, because that's been shutting me down. But the sleep quality is a lot more interrupted. So your actual, although people will smoke,
But that's
and
just
get
a
high.
Band-Aid.
Yeah, it is, and I know it is.
Anything, is it?
And it's because, and like I've been going to sleep on the sofa because I'm just not. I've been in a real weird place, and so just putting
You
the
should
TV
just
on.
message me random shit, dude.
Yeah,
Voicemail me messages.
the thing
Always
is
good
as
to
well.
just, spout.
Yes, no, I know it is, but and this is more from where I'm at. Like I've always kept everything to myself, and this is like I said, I've been thinking about it all week whether I should talk about this on the CREWCast.
100% should.
And like, yeah, I'm this is the most open I'll be. I'll never talk to anyone. I'd never tell somebody this outside of this situation. And I know this is a bit weird then to then publicise it, but I thought,
It's a disconnect, though, isn't it?
It is
Because there's
useful.
nobody staring at you other than me.
The thing is as well, like I've explained some things that have worked for me in the past. And we've said this before, that just because I'm telling you all these things are very useful doesn't mean that we never have shit times or
fuck
struggle.
no, it's a constant battle. But you just get a little better every time at realising when you're caught in it and then realising how to fix it. That's the difference.
Yeah. You have to make a conscious effort to manage your mental state all the time, whether it's good or bad. And yeah, like, and I haven't. I've got lazy, and I've been sad, and I've been pretty miserable. And I think that's the thing with most.
You had a huge catalyst to send you into this as well. With the passing of your friend, you're warranted to have a point. It's mourning, mate. You're in a period of mourning. And sometimes you have to let that carry out a little bit, but it's important that you realize that's what it is, and that you are going to have to, as in any situation, actively pull yourself out of it. Because it's, like we said before, anytime you get in these downward spirals, they require zero energy to maintain them. And that's the problem. Because you can carry them on infinitely with zero energy.
And low mood states, depression and whatever else. I'm not saying that I am depressed right now.
No, you might. Well, mourning must be a state of depression, surely. I suppose it's on the spectrum.
It's a scale, isn't it?
Of course it is,
The thing with these lower mood kind of things, which is where I definitely lean towards. I don't have like anxiety and stuff like that. Anxiety is like a very high energy, like jittery thing, whereas
I don't get that.
I kind of, definitely lean towards the kind of depressive state if I'm in a bad place, is sometimes you don't feel like you actually deserve to get out of it. Sometimes you're happy to be miserable, like if that even makes sense.
I kind of know what you mean.
And like
you feel like, well, I've brought this on myself. This is what happens.
And Emma's spoken to me loads about things to do, and I'm aware of it, and I've just been like, but I can't be asked. Don't want to. I'm just going to be.
That's the low energy state.
Yeah,
that's what it is,
isn't it? And I've got to the point, I think I've kind of moved past where I was at. I'm pissed off with myself for not doing the things I want to do and not being as resilient as I maybe thought that I was, because this definitely caught me by surprise. Like I didn't expect to have something that would affect me as it has. And it's also I think, as every challenging situation is, it's a really good opportunity to better yourself and to like kind of add more skills and
take the lesson.
Take the lesson, and that's where it is. So this is me applying a lot of the things that I've done in the past to a situation that's far more challenging than it was before.
But that's the thing, isn't it? You have that you experience the moment, you learn the lesson, you get through the moment, you realize it's going to take energy and time, and you're going to have to actively pull yourself through it. But the next time it happens, you'll realize it sooner. You'll realize what it is sooner, and you'll be able to initiate what you did before that helped you get through it sooner. So the period of down lasts less and less time, but nobody's saying that you're going to cure it. It's not a curable thing. There's always going to be something that comes and kicks your ass. Life is never going to be one long Disney movie. Like, it doesn't happen. There are going to be moments where you get a beating, and the fact is, if you remember that that's normal, that's the biggest thing. It's normal to feel down. It's normal for something to come and kick you in the ass when things are going really well, because everything is. You can't have a crest without. You can't have the crest of a wave without the dip of the water prior. You know, everything is an up and down. There's no black without white, no white without black. And once you realise that, which is where the psychedelic things have come in for me. On one of my journeys, I realized that whenever I experience something, wherever I am, it's experiencing me back. And we're together imparting an energy between ourselves, whether it's just a room. No matter what, in that moment, I'm experiencing it, it's experiencing me. And it made me realize the terminology. When you hear actors say, don't try to learn the words, let the words learn you. And you think, at the time you hear it, you think, what a load of tosh. Now I understand what they mean by that. So you're experiencing something, but in turn, the world is experiencing you in that manner as well. So it's almost a give and take. No matter what you're in, is a give and take. And if you realize that, you'll understand that what you put out will also come back. And that's why people say what you put out comes back, because you're experiencing is experiencing you. Everything is cyclic. And once you start thinking in that mentality, you realize that, okay, so if I start putting out a little bit more positive energy, I'm going to get a little bit more back. If I start being more proactive things are going to happen to me. And it's so important to realize that that's the mental state you need to be in. And it's good that you do speak, but you should just send me voice messages of just rambling shit. And I'll sit and listen to it, and I'll pick out what I can and go, okay, cool, this is what I know from what you're thinking. And I think it's important to people to have that outlet, because without it, all you do is internalize, which you already have no answers for. So how do you expect to find? It's like trying to draw the perfect circle over and over and over and over and over again. It's
I think Emma explained it very well to me in terms of why I should be talking more, because I naturally draw in when I'm in that state. I don't really like to talk. I'm not the most comfortable with talking about those kind of emotions, because I suppose just like historically, it's not. And this is completely wrong, but growing up the way I did, got guys shouldn't talk about their emotions, and obviously it's called bullshit. But I still have that internal bias that means that I'm just like, I have to be always seen as a good role model for people around or whatever else. I need to be tough. I need to, and like other people in the past will always rely on me to stabilize them in their emotional state. So which is, that's good.
It's
that's
a great thing that's part of your personality to be able to do that. And I'm very similar. I'm great at bringing other people back around, but you have to learn to be able to do that for yourself as well, and realize that you need other people to also do that to you, and you're not the singularity in the situation.
Exactly. And Emma was explaining to me why one of the reasons it's very beneficial to talk to somebody, literally, like, even, this could be going to therapy, this could be going talking to a friend or a partner or a loved one, or a random stranger in a bar, whatever you need to do. Actually verbalizing those thoughts helps you process them a little bit better, because when thoughts aren't always fully formed, and emotions definitely aren't fully formed. So when you actually have to communicate that to another person, you have to click all those pieces into a cohesive sentence, which you don't normally do when they're just floating around your head. They're just things. So when you communicate that, it actually helps you process and understand what's going on, because you're, as much as you're explaining to somebody else, you're actually explaining it to yourself.
Of course, because you're talking out loud, and as well, they offer a different perspective.
Yes.
Which you're missing because you're stuck in the one view a lot of the time, which is why we get stuck in the States. Yeah, very, very true. And the whole thing of guys not talking, I actually I signed up to, I got asked to do a campaign with Slaters this week, and I did a campaign with them again. I did one a few years ago, which is it's called Suit Up. And it was just a cool thing about get dressed up, feel good, look good. You know what I mean? And it was, but they're doing one now so I'm going to be working with Slaters and the Samaritans.
Oh, wow.
And to create a campaign that is encouraging guys to look after themselves in the way they feel. So, suit up, feel good, but also talk when you feel a certain way. Talk to those guys around you, because even the guys around you are suited, booted, look good, feel good. They got shit to talk about too.
Of course. Yeah.
And the moment you do, the moment you'll all start coming together as a group and helping one another, and that's what it's about, is using those people around you. So one of the big things I would say is, when somebody sits down and looks you in the eye and says, tell me about that, don't go, it doesn't matter. There's somebody there taking a moment of their life to give to you, to listen, to genuinely, they are asking you, tell me what you're thinking, tell me. They're literally saying it, and we ignore it most of the time and go, no, it doesn't matter. Nah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Take that fucking moment they're offering you.
Yeah.
It's a real moment. And it could be, and it can make all the difference. It could literally flip your entire terrible month around.
Yeah.
Or year, or fucking few years.
100%.
So, big one. Yeah, well done, mate. Fist bump in getting that off your chest a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's good. Like I said, I think one of the main things is the accountability of it as well. Huge. Now, I can't. There's hundreds, probably thousands of people that are listening. So
hope so.
I can't bullshit now. Nah. I've got to actually do this.
Yeah, so it's that you've put it out into the ether. That's a big thing as well. If you can't say something out loud, how do you expect anything to come of it? You've got to be able to say that shit out in the open. Say it out. Put it into, verbalize it.
Yes. And so fingers crossed, this time next week, I'll be sat here saying it's been a real good week. Lots of positive changes. Even if it might not be an amazing week, but it's definitely going to be moving in the right direction.
Yeah,
that's all I'm looking for. I'm never looking for perfect. I'm just looking for better than before.
Isn't that everything? Everything's a little step forward. Nothing's a huge leap ever. It's always a little step that then leads to bigger things over time. Lots of little things build up to a big change.
Yeah,
and I've said this for years.
Yeah, it's the same with training, same with everything.
Same with training, dieting, just general business acumen. It's always that way. And like we were talking before about how I had the content stick, where I looked at things and was like, Jesus, I can never do that. How would I do this? That came before what I believe possibly my most creative things that I've done to date. Yeah. It's mad. So your trough is usually right before that huge crest.
Yeah.
It usually is just right before that. Some of the best things you'll ever do. You've just got to create that wave. Yeah, nice. That was really good. I didn't expect us to go there on that one. We had 2 really good weeks, dude. So we had Lee open up about him going through the addiction stage, being really down, having all the drugs and stuff from last week, which was massive. I didn't expect Lee to open up about that, which was well done, Lee, honestly.
Yeah,
I know he listens every week. He was like, oh, bloody hell, I'm going to listen to my podcast. But by the time he left, he was like, I was like, so how'd you find it? He's like, just so easy. I was like, yeah, you're just having chats, aren't you?
Yeah,
He's
he
like,
was really nervous beforehand.
Yeah, and then
I remember being quite nervous before we started because
really?
I suppose, yeah, you talk on camera quite a lot, and obviously the camera's only part of it, but just, I think for me, it was just like, is anyone going to want to fucking hear me? Like, is anyone going to listen?
That's another thought process. No one's going to want to hear this. And I think when someone says, tell me, and they go, nah, people don't want to hear this.
Mm-hmm. It still does blow my mind when people drop me messages and they say really nice things about the CREWCast. Because, like, and I'm sure at some point I'll probably get some negative messages saying, you sound like a dick. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's fine.
Do you know what?
But everything's been really positive so far. And it's really nice to hear that people...
I don't think you'll get the you sound like a dick question. Nobody's listening to... I'm going to stop saying to. It's to. Nobody listens to somebody say something heartfelt without it landing, I don't think. I think everybody, even if they don't want to admit it, when someone says something real, people resonate to it.
Yeah.
And the only people that don't are somebody who's acting out. So if you ever do get those, which you do, all I ever send back to people who send me nasty messages, and I literally do this all the time, I send back going, it sounds like you're having a bad day, dude. Hope it gets better. And guaranteed, 99% of the time, I get a message back going, yeah, sorry, man. I just having a bad time. Lashed out. And then we usually end up, they usually end up being really,
all right.
Yeah.
I think sometimes people, and that, fair enough if that's a coping mechanism, probably not the best, but like some people do that, like they feel shit and they want someone else to feel shit with them.
Yeah. Or they just want to just get rid of it and put it on someone else. You'll stop feeling such a way. Fuck off. Have that.
Yeah. There is transference, isn't it? Emotions transfer from one person to the next. Someone has a bad day, they rant to somebody else, and that makes them feel better, but then that other person can then pick up some of that energy that they've had, and then they're a bit like, ugh, and then they want to rant.
It's the ripple effect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like ripples in a pond, you throw a stone in and you get the ripples. But the same thing can happen on the flip side, which is why whenever you walk past someone in the street, you should smile at them and say, afternoon or good morning, because a little smile, a little good thing you put to them, they say to the next person that they follow, and you put this little bit of a good vibe out into the world, and hopefully it spreads like a ripple in a pond. But the same thing happens with negativity, and the problem with the negativity is zero energy required to keep it going.
Yes, that is the trouble.
Yeah. So that's why it's I keep saying, make your own energy, make it a positive, put positives out there. And as I said before, from my little learning lessons, what you experience is experiencing you, and that's people too. So yeah, it's a good one. I like that. That was a good chat. That was really good.
Should we get onto the questions that
so we had some
over?
questions from last week which we didn't get through, which we're going to get through this week because I'm having the day off Instagram because I just felt like I needed it, and so I took it. Oh, I did go riding. Cheers for the boys all coming down last weekend and riding with me because that was sick. We rode all Saturday and Sunday. It was beautiful. We didn't get rained on, nothing. We had all the comms working. We were talking, riding, loving it. Went through Snowdonia again. We found some new little routes. What else did we do? We were going to ride to Aberystwyth, but it's a proper journey there. And then you want a bit of a day at Aberystwyth. And because we were that was it. So we had a guy come down who's a specialist drone flyer. So I have some stuff I haven't put up on social media yet, but this dude has a drone. I put one up on the stories. Well, now, we nearly had a blackout then, but we didn't. You won't have noticed on the recording because I've just said, I put one up on my stories and it goes, and then the computer shut down. So I'll carry on. It goes on so I put it up on stories. This drone goes 100 miles per hour.
Jeez.
Yeah, he's built these bloody drones.
Yeah.
100 miles an hour, dude.
Shit.
Yeah. Anyway, it's impressive to say the least. And they make this noise. Yeah. As they fly.
Sounds
literally.
like a gremlin.
Sounds like a gremlin screaming. Insane. So we took out the motorbikes, me, Lee, Mark, and he literally flew the drones behind, alongside, around. He had it flipping, doing just madness. So I've got all this footage to put together a really cool reel. And obviously I'm going to utilize this kind of setup now for some intros or bike sequences I've got coming up, some cool stuff I'm going to be doing. I've got a Harley ride out at on Monday.
Yeah.
I go over to Manchester on Monday, and I'm going to be riding the brand new Sportster S for the launch of the UK market. So that's going to be pretty freaking cool. Yeah, so expect some Shredded with Life vlogging coming from there, as well as some new episodes. So that's one thing. And then after that, the week after, I go back to Manchester again to do the Slaters campaign. So I got some cool stuff, some busy things coming. I'm also signing with a new company for supplements. So that'll be announced soon. Got the contract the overview of the contract. So that's cool.
We can do that hack that I've told you. You can tell everyone about the special mix.
The what?
The flavour mixed.
Oh yes,
wine gum.
yeah. So there's two. Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah, that is quite interesting. Something that's a delightful thing that you might not think you'd like. You might like.
Yeah.
I'll get to try it because
Really
I'll order it in.
fucking good.
Yeah, I'll get that
Well,
ordered.
Order some extra for me.
Yeah, I'll get some in. We'll have it here. So that's very cool. Very good things happening. And this was all after me having my downward spiral of thinking I was incapable of creating what I thought I could do.
Yeah.
And
I think
crests and troughs, man. Crests and
yeah,
troughs.
it's the same with everything, isn't it? Even society as a whole, like any kind of large period of like, I feel like we're about to have. Well, we are in that kind of upturn at the moment. Obviously, COVID and all the shit that's gone on over the last year has been really tough on people. It's been tough on businesses. It's been tough on society as a whole. And I think that kind of the freedom is coming back. People are going to get back to it. Businesses are going to be popping up. There's going to be like a real upturn, and things are going to be really positive and good energy and fun and lots of stuff going on. Like, before there was the plague, and then immediately after that, obviously like a massive, like, I don't know, culling of a population. It's not culling, but like, you know what I mean? Like a massive
Loss.
Massive loss. Everything was in ruin, and then the Renaissance kind of came from that, and art and culture and parties and craziness and everything else that kind of came about.
Appreciating life again, aren't we?
Yeah,
it's a bit of a fucking awakening. Like, hey, appreciate what you fucking got, people.
Yeah, and that happened on a kind of global scale, I suppose. So yeah, that's hopefully where we're going to be at right now, and that happens on a micro scale for individuals in situations as well. So,
and again, that even that cycle is an up and a down wave throughout history. You can look at it. You can literally you can monitor it happening. Whether it be the plague, wars, whatever. There's always an upside to a very downward spiral. So yeah, very cool.
We,
right, we've restarted the recordings again anyway, so we got another 30 minutes really.
Yeah, should we get onto some questions? See what we got.
Okie dokie. Let's have a little look. Oh, can we just also appreciate that these village cigars, which we thought were small things, are still going. I'm about, what would you say, 3/5 of the way through it?
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
3/4 through. Yeah.
Yeah, impressive. So when you think of that now, 15 quid for £5, that's £3.
This is like an hour.
Burnt for an hour.
Oh, and obviously we've not been sucking on it for the whole hour.
But we weren't holding back.
No, we've been putting it down for like 10 minutes at a time, then grabbing it again.
Relighting it and... They're nice. They're smooth. And I did blow one bit out my nose at one point, and it made my eyes water a little bit. Yeah. Because I got a real peppery spot.
I accidentally took a little bit back earlier.
Oh, that'll knock you sideways.
I was all right. I was okay. Yeah. I survived it. You may... if anyone sees, there's just a moment where I'm just like going...
Yeah, there was a bit where I was going... A tear might leave my eye right now because it was super spicy.
Yeah,
I breathed I took it in, but rather than let it sit in my mouth for a little bit, it came straight out my nose, so it was like hot and through the nose. So if you don't know about cigars, what you do is you pull them into your mouth. You do not inhale them into your lungs. You let them sit in your mouth, and you get some of the flavors. Cigars are all about kind of they're not wrapped like a cigarette in just some Rizzler shit. The whole thing about a cigar is that the tobacco inside is wrapped within a tobacco leaf. It's all about the flavor. It's all about the way the leaf's cured and the flavors, the packing, and the flavor tones. As you get down, the cigar actually change. They get a little bit hotter as you get deeper and a little more peppery. And then if you push the smoke out through your nose, you actually get more of the flavors because obviously your nose is more sensitive. So that's how kind of cigars work. And so I was halfway through it, pulled in quite a bit and put it straight out my nose, so I got the heat of the actual smoke not sitting in my mouth very long and all the pepperiness, and I was just like
yeah, I need to message that Anthony guy back from Davidoff Cigars.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting to just, if he could send us some stuff with some notes to see if we can try some stuff, and we'll obviously try and link up like we said.
Yeah, it'd be really nice to meet up with him. He seemed like a really nice guy from what he was, dropping. He dropped us a good few messages asking like whether we'd be interested in some stuff and having a chat. It's just logistically hard to get us all together around it. That's the challenging part. But yeah, I'm sure we can definitely sort that soon.
Question time.
Questions.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Boop. Here we go. This is from Glasgow Muscle. Solid name. Glasgow Muscle. I'm going to have to read it like that. I don't know if this is Glasgow accent. Right, fucking. What company would you recommend for motorbike lessons? We can't. You live in Glasgow, I'm assuming. We don't. But basically, look at reviews online and see what people have said. Said? What the heck was that?
See what people
have said. But if you go somewhere and they don't request you to wear protective gear when you start riding, walk away.
Yeah.
Because I know a few places that have been like that and they're pretty shoddy. Now, you want somebody that when you turn up seems to have a real love for motorcycling and wants to get you to ride. And then obviously read the reviews online, like your Google reviews. Is Yelp still a thing? Is that still going? It's still, I know it's still there, but there's people still do it.
I think so.
Maybe Yelp reviews. Have a look at that. But what you want to do, in my opinion, is don't do your 125 license and just stick with that. They are harder bikes to ride as 125s than the bigger bikes are actually easier because they pull themselves along easier with just clutch control. Whereas with the 125s, you have to kind of wring their necks to get them to start moving. So you end up with really bad throttle control if you stick with a 125 for too long. So get your CBT out of the way. I would recommend doing the direct access courses, which is where you do everything wrapped up into one unit. You pay for an entire thing and it takes you through from CBT to your big bike license. That is 100% the best way I would say to do it. I wouldn't recommend learning from doing with a mate on a car park because they don't know how to teach you like an instructor would. And you need that. You need that professionalism. So there you go. Chris J. Wilson. I want to learn a fighting style to be able to protect myself. Suggestion. My immediate one that pops straight to my head is Thai boxing. It's amazing. Teaches you tons. It has grappling involved with it. It uses every limb of your body to an extent, pretty much, other than your head. But you can, learn that if you want. They will teach you that if you ask them a couple of things. Yeah,
I'd look at... I was going to say, the first thing that jumped to mind was Thai. Krav Maga is also a very good one, especially for like a street fighting kind of setup, because a lot of that
I think that's taught by a lot of shysters, though.
Yes, there's shitty Krav Maga places.
Really shitty. You look at them and you're like, dude, that guy's never been in a fight. He just learns all the Krav Maga. I know guys who've put up on their Facebooks they're doing Krav Maga, and I know I could beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
It's just no chance.
BJJ as well, I would definitely say.
It's a false thing.
That's more
BJJ
from a very defensive standpoint. So obviously... Well, they even say this in the UFC. Anyone who's got a very good ground game, they tend to control the fight. They dictate whether that fight's going to the floor, for the most part, unless somebody's got very good takedown defense, which your average on the street has zero takedown defense. So from a defensive point of view, you can keep very well protected. They can also... You don't necessarily have to hurt anyone to still neutralise that situation. So that's another kind of way of looking at it, although it might not be the most flashy. And I would probably say no-gi BJJ, because... If
you did Thai and BJJ, you are super well-rounded.
Yeah. If you were doing gi, less applicable, because that has lots of things that require the lapel and the clothing.
Does that not cross over, though, to somebody wearing a hoodie?
To a certain extent,
to a little bit.
The amount of movement in most t-shirts or whatever else compared to a
gi is different.
A gi,
you're right.
So I would say no gi's probably a little bit more.
I literally talked about for 30 more seconds, and you're absolutely right.
Probably no gi would. I'd say no gi's a bit more.
No gi, BJJ, and Thai boxing. Cool beans. But BJJ will humble you quick. You can be one superhero, Dragon Ball character. It says they put it this way: you can be one superhero / Dragon Ball character. Who are you? And who you're battling. And that's from It's Peggy, bruh.
It's Peggy, bruh.
You're one superhero. I kind of love Batman because he could happen. But if you're going to be one, you'd be Superman, and I would just dominate the world and make you do what I want. I wouldn't be a good Superman. I'd be definitely the evil, pissed off Superman.
So are we in another world where all the superheroes exist?
Doesn't say. Just says you can be one superhero, so I'm assuming it's anybody.
A lot of choices. If you were like the only superhero, nothing else going on.
Oh, so you got no one to fight you?
Yeah, could really just say who you're battling. In a perfect world, I wouldn't be battling anyone because I'm just like not needing to.
You're a god.
Yeah.
Who you battling? Right. Well, I would be. I'm going to go Spider-Man. He's my second. He's one of my favorites. Spider-Man, and I would fight. Who do I not like the most? I really dislike that Cyborg character, but that's mainly because of the way he's portrayed in the movies. He's just a bit crap.
I was a massive Spider-Man fan as a kid. I had my whole bedroom decorated with like Spider-Man
I had the Spider-Man outfit, the one with the full mask and everything.
Yeah. I think as well, like Spider-Man's character and personality is probably the one that's one of the least tortured and impacted by his abilities.
Yeah, he just has the death of his.
Yeah, and he has a
Uncle,
great
doesn't he?
time being Spider-Man. Like he seems to never really in the comics, and I suppose in most of the ways he's portrayed. Obviously, supervillains and whatever else cause issues there, but for the most part, he just fucking enjoys himself. He saves people. He's honest. He's nice. He like has a great time swinging around and just being free
Yeah.
and being able to do cool shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, just has a bit better of a life balance than maybe some of the others.
So you're going Spidey too?
Yeah, I definitely think Spidey's a good shout.
Cool. So with Spidey, I would have the Iron Man armor though. I've got Iron Man spider suit.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. No, that levels things up.
Yeah. And who are you battling?
I'm just gonna battle someone shite.
So you win.
Yeah, I ain't gonna go for a challenge.
So
Like,
Black Widow.
Yeah, just
Is
a
she
human,
even a superhero?
just a person that's really, really good, but like terrible in comparison to a superhero.
Who then? You got to pick one.
It would be Black Widow.
Okay.
and
you're
especially
taking-
if this
Well,
is
what about Hawkeye then? You just fight Hawkeye. He's only got arrows.
I'm going Black Widow, especially if it is the current Marvel, because
She's a corpse.
Yeah. Well, yeah, currently right now.
She's currently dead.
I'd let her get me in a headlock or two.
Leave it very well.
Yeah,
Triangle me.
I'd have a good time. Oh no.
Fair news. Will Mr. Lewis join the Lex Mullet Club?
Well, the thing is, like, what we define as a mullet, because if
I don't know,
mullet
because
has
mine's
to-
a party mullet now. So mine's
so like I have, like hair that's
It's
hanging
long.
over the back of my head.
yeah,
Is that a
it's
mullet?
definitely not a mullet. No,
'Cause,
because you've
like-
got the sides that are long as the
Exactly.
As the
So
back.
like, no, I'm wanting to. I wanted to grow my hair out in its entirety.
Yeah, you should do. I think it's really well.
So I suppose no. No.
And then I think let's have a look which ones we missed last week. Because we zipped through a few, didn't we? How's the bathroom going, Mr. Lewis?
Today the tiles have arrived.
Oh,
and
the mysterious tiles
Yep.
that were out of stock
Yep. and
from
the,
Spain.
The taps have arrived. Porcelain House have got their shit together. I'm literally just now working out the logistics of when I'm able to book some time off work to get it done.
Big job that now.
Yeah, but no, it's great.
Are you going to
Finally
have to
feel
cut them?
Yeah. So there's obviously the bulk of it will be no cuts.
Yes, but
that'll be the easy bit that'll
gonna be
fly
those
up
edges, aren't
fairly quickly, and then all of the cuts. That's the real time consuming part. But there's a lot of other bits that were kind of in waiting because of the tile, so I can kind of get moving. Ideally, I would have had more than 1 day's notice that was coming in, but yeah.
As such is the world.
Yeah.
If you started working now, what Olympic event do you think you would compete in next time? I'd just like to point out this is Craig, who comes in with the cool questions every week. He's done about 6.
Greco-Roman wrestling.
Oh, good call.
And just as a baseline, that's something that I already am okay at. So like the stand up with BJJ, taking on people that were more advanced, I did okay considering, just because of like predisposition to like being like moving fairly well, being decent with like throwing people around, because I used to do that at school all the time, just fucking chuck people just for the jokes. So yeah, Greco-Roman wrestling, I feel like that would be something really fun to get into. The only trouble is there's not a lot of places somewhere in Birmingham that I'm aware of, but there's not too many places that teach Greco-Roman wrestling.
MMA places are going to be the best places now, aren't they?
Yeah, but in terms of like a pure Olympic sport.
Purist.
Yeah,
there's probably none.
I like the spandex.
I'm probably sprinting.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was quite quick with sprints.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
pretty good
would
at that. I can't think of anything else Olympic I'd be amazing. Because I was never like gymnastically inclined. Although I reckon I could adapt to pretty much anything, especially as a wee whippet.
Yeah.
I could pick up pretty much anything within a week. To be like where they'd be like, oh yeah, you can do more. Yeah.
And again, like I suppose boxing, I really enjoy boxing. I
I
boxed for a
thought
good
that,
few
but
years
then
when I
you
was a
get
kid.
punched in the head relentlessly. CTE, I probably wouldn't choose that.
Yeah, for saying that though, Greco-Roman wrestling, people getting fucking
True,
dumped
yeah.
on their head all the time. probably not the best.
Let's continue with the Craig questions because he's done a few. What's the worst decision you've ever made? I'm not going to say the one that immediately jumps to my head.
I know what
You know
it
which
is.
one it is. Yeah. So I would say not. I would say not not carrying on art as a main core subject because I gave it up as I came to GCSE because it was not deemed as a mainstream. You're going to get a good job subject. I went to sciences and maths, and I would have not done maths, and I would have done art and carried it on.
I really struggle with stuff like this because when it's such a butterfly effect, you change the smallest insignificant thing that would have happened in the past, and you don't know how that could have had huge effects. Yeah. I'm gonna try to live my life without having any regrets.
No, it's not regret. It's just the worst. Okay, what's the worst decision you ever made? So, worst decision that might not affect something. So, like once I put diesel in my motorbike because I have a diesel car and I just went on to autopilot. I put it, but it wasn't the worst decision I made because it had some cool outcomes. Like motorbikers stopped to help me, which was cool. Like he literally, one guy rode down the other side of the road, saw me at the garage with my bike in bits because we were trying to pull it apart to do things, and he rode all the way down the because it was on the way towards a motorway to a point where he turned around. He came back about 10 minutes later, so God knows how far I rode to come all the way back the other side of the road to come in and check how we were doing. It turned out he was a mechanic and he helped us sort it.
What a guy!
Yeah, sweet.
I'm really struggling with that one.
Okay, we'll move on.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I've got a couple, but I ain't gonna say.
Yeah,
I'll tell you in a minute. But
okay. Any school subjects you wish you'd taken? Oh, I've just done that. Or ones you wished you'd taken seriously? Yeah, no, because I've covered that. I wished I carried on my art because I won the art prize at school for one of my years.
Yeah,
and I just because it was like you won't get a secure job from that. And obviously now look, I didn't need a secure fucking job. I'd go and do the weirdest shit anyway.
See, I did art at school, and I wished I actually stuck with graphic design opposed to art because I was really stuck between the two.
Yeah.
And art, thinking it was going to allow creativity. Whatever, I don't know what it'd be like in other places, but at my school, it did not. You had to copy other artists' style and do your best to replicate them. And I was like, well, that's not fucking art, is it? You're just copying and pasting someone else's style. So me being me was just like, fuck that shit. I'm just going to do what I want to do, which was not a lot.
That was the problem with art. It was very self-driven. So if you decided to just jerk off, that's all you did.
Well, it was just not, in my opinion, not what art was about. And I definitely think that following along the graphic design route, because I really enjoyed graphic design too, definitely would have actually played into more of the hands-on practicality elements that I didn't know that I had. I'm quite skilled hands-on wise. So then that would have actually paired two of my skill sets really nicely together, and potentially could have been, a different career path for me.
See, I don't know, because look, I didn't do art, and look where I ended up in a really creative place. I think no matter what you pick, eventually you will work your way, if you allow yourself to be a person who takes opportunities, you will end up where you're supposed to be anyway. You'll end up on the creative path or the digital path or the, I don't know, legal, whatever. You'll get there eventually anyway. It's just, I think if you make some decisions earlier, you will get there a little quicker. But I genuinely think you're not predetermined to do something, but I think if you follow your nature and your want and what you enjoy, you'll get to where you need to be. Regardless. Lex, will the Livewire be staying, and what's your general thoughts on it? So for those that don't know, the Livewire is the Harley Davidson electric motorcycle, which I've had up on my socials recently, which I've got to play around on. Will it be staying? No, it's going back. I actually am going to message them after I've done a ride out Q&A on it to come and take it. I want the adventure bike and swap it out for that. Here's the reason why. It's fun, don't get me wrong, and it is definitely an impressive step forward in terms of electric riding, but I'm bored with it already. It's basically a giant scooter, and it handles brilliantly. It's really good to be on, but the tech's not there yet. 80 miles if you ride it not even spiritedly, if you just enjoy it a little bit. 80 miles best. You enjoy it a little bit, 50. You can't go anywhere, you can't experience it enough. So, and for the price that it costs for them to make it and to have to sell it, it's £28,000. No, it's just not there yet. it's fun to have. It's fun to try. I think if you had that in the garage with your other
If you had multiple
fossil burning beauties, then yeah, it's
it's an option, isn't
it's
it?
an option, but it definitely doesn't replace the old dinosaur burners. So yeah, it'll be going back. I will be getting an adventure bike which burns dinosaurs, old dinosaurs, and I'll be riding that up mountains and not looking at the fuel gauge. So yeah, there we go. But it's been great fun, and it is definitely an impressive build. Really impressive build. And it looks
it's beautiful.
Beautiful. They're definitely on the right path. I definitely think it's a leader in the field because it is really well balanced.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually do believe they have their place in teaching people to ride because there isn't seamlessly endless bandwidth of power on it. No matter where you're at, the power is instantly there all the time. When you go into a turn or a bend, you don't have the liability of a normal petrol bike where you could be on the wrong gear, not in the right rev range, because the balance of a bike around a corner is dictated by the consistency at which you can maintain the power band and speed around that corner, which then obviously if you keep consistent makes the bike very controllable and easier to lean in, and you can come up or down as necessary. Whereas if you don't have enough power, it gets boggy and it doesn't lean as easily. If you get too much power, it wants to stand up, you can't lean it down. So in terms of teaching people to handle a bike around a corner under the right power level, they're amazing. And I do think there's a place where people could learn how a bike should handle and feel around a corner on an electric, and then put that into a petrol bike. So, I mean, there's a lot to be had from them. I've definitely had great fun.
Is the hybrid bikes?
No, and I didn't. I asked this. Why not? Why didn't they build a hybrid first? Because I feel like that would be a really good halfway house, where you could have the electric side and then the petrol. And I don't know. It mustn't be able to be put into the body of a bike.
Maybe, yeah. It might be just
It'd be
too much. Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, it's a really clever thing and fun. I just miss the gears, and I like the noise it makes. Though I like the whole thing. It's cool,
different,
and people do definitely look at it. So yeah, and it had a really positive feedback as well from it. When people saw it, they were like, "That's sick." So yeah, how's if you could remove one thing from the world forever, what would you remove? Because you couldn't remove money, even though it's the root of evil, as some people say, because then how would society function? You just have a replacement. You remove money, you just have gold would replace it.
Yeah, there'd be something else.
Some other tradable item would just replace it, and people would just have more of that. I would remove...
So is this got to be a physical thing, or can this be
It can be anything. It just says one thing from the world.
I suppose...
Cancer?
As bad as it is, I don't think... The thing is, like, things that are really shit like that kill people, there's always things that are going to kill people. There's always things... And that's, unfortunately, like a really important part.
Oh, yeah.
Of existence.
It's a cycle of that. We can't have everybody live forever, or that we won't be able to sustain the planet. But... I don't know. It's a tough one. That is a huge question.
I think if I could, it'd probably be like, I don't know whether jealousy would be the right thing.
Isn't that a motivation for some people though? A driving force.
Yeah. I think I suppose hate, if that, because there's.
I got one. Pollution.
Yeah.
There we go. I'd remove pollution. Or greed. Unnecessary greed.
I'm going for hatred, or just hate in general. Just I think if
you remove hate and I remove greed, we've got a pretty good world.
Yeah, I'd like to think that shouldn't have too many negative. I'm sure there's some weird scenario where that could be like a bad thing to happen. But yeah, I think if people can still have their preferences and their likes and dislikes. But hatred's a very harsh and extreme.
Yeah, it is an extreme. You can dislike something and not hate it, can't you?
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
There we go. Good answers. If you were to impart only one sentence of wisdom forevermore, what would it be?
Have fun.
Hey, that's a good one. Yeah.
Have fun.
Enjoy who you are. Make your own energy.
Yeah.
I think, without me having to root through all the things... Oh, well, there's this. If you could have did we do this? If you could have... Oh, no, we did it. The dinosaur mount. I did skip through a few of these, so like they're all intermingled, so I'd have to hunt through all the other ones to find the ones we didn't answer. So I think that's a good one to end on. I think we've done
Yeah.
well. That's been pretty deep. Pretty deep podcast.
Been an emotional
Been
one.
fueled by cigars and good whiskey. See, the benefits of drinking good whiskey and having a cigar with a mate are boundless.
Yeah, this
Even if you
redbreast.
don't want to drink, maybe have a Pepsi and a sugar cane. Whatever floats your boat. Whatever gets you sat down and talking with
Yeah.
other people.
This redbreast is very, very good. So
Oh,
if you
that
are
is-
thinking about it, for something that's marginally more expensive than your bog standard, so you can get a bog standard whiskey for 20-25 quid.
We've already gone through that though. They're more of your fun, not great ones.
Yeah.
30 quid is basically your bottom line
Yeah.
for a good, decent,
Yeah.
taste a bunch of flavours, have a nice balanced, smooth whiskey.
Yeah, so for just over 40, getting like literally an award-winning
10 or
one.
more-ish.
And for me, this is definitely the number one I've tried.
Yeah, it's definitely up there for me. I'm torn between that and the Jack, Gentleman Jack. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, Jack Daniels. But it's the fact that with the Jack, it gets more and more enjoyable for me the more I sip on it. And I'm on my own and I have one. It just makes me go, when I do it. It's just, I get an instant, my palate favours it
Yeah.
really well. And the Gentleman Jack is a higher quality blend than the obviously normal Jack Daniels that you've experienced. If you haven't had the Gentleman Jack, try it and you'll see what I mean. Yeah.
For me, that's a little bit easier drinking because I think Gentleman Jack's a bit more smoky, which
See, I don't get that from Jack. I get the sweetness
I definitely get some sweetness, but for me, I think it's anything that's too smoky. That's one thing that like puts me, not doesn't put me off, but like I can find that a little bit
I
harsh.
feel like this has made me sleepy.
Yeah, I'm mellow.
Mellow. Yes, that's a good word for it. That has mellowed. So if you want one to sit, relax, wind down, I'd definitely say Redbreast is a good one to go for. It's definitely not one that fires you up. It's one that definitely settles you in.
Yeah, it's a good
Settles you
one. It's a chilling with friends.
Yeah, yeah. As, in the words of Mitch, one of my good friends through the Gymshark years, settle me in that ass, boys. Settle me in. So yeah, thanks very much for bringing that one, mate. That was a nice
It's all
one.
right.
I'll have to try and match that next week
I'm
with
well
something.
happy with that.
Yeah, I have to try and do some research and get another good one. Oh no, we've got Pirates Grog next week.
We do.
Giveaway.
And a giveaway. Oh,
Competition.
that's just reminded me. Sorry, it's right at the end. Simone, one of our listeners, she
won the... What did she win?
she won the Burning Barn limited edition.
Oh, yes, she did.
Yeah, so she actually sent us.
Ooh.
She sent us a really nice. It's a rum liqueur from Pirates Grog, a coffee liqueur, which we'll probably try at some point. We might try that along with another one because it's not like a pure rum.
Because it's a liqueur.
It's a mix. So we might actually try 2 next week.
There we go. Oh, let's do that because we are giving away
Yeah.
12 bottles in total
Yeah.
of Pirates Grog. We're giving away 6 to 3 winners, and Pirates Grog themselves will be giving away another 6 to 3 other winners. So you have 6 opportunities
Yeah.
essentially to win
Yeah.
across 2 channels and platforms. So, yeah, that's
Stay
cool.
tuned for next week.
Next
then.
week
So
is
that's going to be a really interesting one.
good giveaway.
And like, I feel like this is such we've stepped it up because obviously.
Oh, damn it. We've blacked out on YouTube.
Oh, fuck.
All
All right, okay, we're going to wrap this up anyway.
Yeah.
But you know, we did a really nice giveaway with a super limited. There was only 300 bottles ever made, or less than 300 bottles ever made with the Burning Barn one. So we couldn't give away like 12 bottles is a huge percentage of that 300.
There's no way. They only made 300. Yeah, we were lucky to get one ourselves.
So yeah, literally. So that was a super rare giveaway. Whereas this, obviously, Pirates Grog, the more generic stuff is there's more volume to give away.
Yes.
So it's going to be nice. More people got more of an opportunity.
There's some serious ones in there.
Yeah.
There's some fun ones, but some serious ones.
Yeah,
So we'll find that out next week.
How many have we tried of Pirates Grog? 2 now, or 3?
Or 3. We tried the 15 euro. We tried the pineapple.
Oh, it is
and
just
then we
the
tried.
Oh no, the
Then we
3. Yeah,
tried
there's the ginger spice last
one.
week. Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
the ginger one was proper, wasn't it?
Yeah, so there's like 6 or 7, maybe even 8 of them. So I think it might be 8, including the liqueur one. So yeah, we're going to try we'll try the liqueur plus another Pirates Grog one next week, and we'll do the giveaway.
We're working hard for you guys to get some cool shit. We're
Yeah.
doing it. We're doing the
So
damn
The
thing.
whole point of this was to get free alcohol.
We are winning.
We're doing it.
Not only
and
that-
we're also going to try and give some of that free alcohol to you.
Back to you. Yeah, so thank you all We're always really appreciative. If you're all listening, sharing, really does help. So anything, whenever you share it on Instagram, whenever you put these little posts up, which some of you do now regularly, one of you guys even goes to the effort of screen recording clips and putting them up.
Yeah,
and
he always does like great little clips. I
always
love it because
makes me laugh.
I don't know whether to say this. I'm going in now anyway.
Go in.
We've record. We were talking about this before of like trying to find some of our favourite clips from all of the CREWCasts that we've gone across, and it's there's hours and hours. We've probably got like 50 hours of content recorded.
Yeah.
So it's quite a challenging thing. So if any of you guys can remember like a favourite episode or a favourite clip, let us know what they are. Because we want to like do a quick little compilation of like maybe just a couple minutes of just some of the funniest shit that we've talked about, or some of the weirdest, or maybe the saddest or happiest stuff that we've spoken about, and compile that into like a little short video. Yeah, a little montage. And so if anyone's got any of those clips and they know what they are from a timestamp or whatever else, let us know, because it'd be really helpful for us to put that together. And maybe get some new listeners in over other platforms.
It's must_be_fitness.
Yep.
Who's always
Harvey, isn't it?
reposting it yesterday. Remember we had the debacle of trying to find out what his real name was.
Yes. Oh yeah, because he sent us something as well, isn't he? He's a good lad. Yeah.
Yes, so
really appreciate those. I really like hearing his little sound bites that he puts on there. Yeah. And just like
his funny little quotes. So we really do appreciate it. Honestly, the little things like that you think you're just being silly, they actually do. They are quite heartwarming. They do give us a little boost. You make our days with those little things. So thank you all very much. And that's it. Yeah. I hope you've all I hope you had a good weekend. We do have a heat wave coming, guys. So even if you've had a bit of rain, a bit of shit stuff going, there is warmer days coming in England anyway. Yeah. And we hope you have a good week. Please take note of stuff we said today. If you've been feeling a certain way, feeling a bit of a downward spiral turning on, put into action things that Lou's suggested. Listen to what we've said, because the reason we say them is because it's what we fucking do. And it's helped us, and that's all we can do is try and impart what helps us. Hopefully it'll help you. And the most important thing, make your own energy. It's a true fact. You've got to do it. Everyone you see who's happy is doing it. Make your energy. Have a great week, and we will catch you on the next CREWCast with a solid giveaway.
Toodle pip.
Toodle pip. Damn that one black.